So guess what? I was able to fix my situation. My problem was this is the stock micro SD card. So I have a 4 gig that I ended up completely, I ended up formatting it so it didn't have any information on it. Then what I did is I went to, alright, so I'll try to explain this. So I went here to OpenTX 2.2.3, did the SD card. Okay, so you do this, find your model, make sure this is correct. You know, if you don't have a plus, if it does not have this plus, do not, and I say do not even download this. Okay, so you go here, click on it, and you want to, usually you want to always try to get the newest. Okay, so when you click on this, it'll upload. When you upload, anyway, when you upload this, you'll extract. You'll end up going over here to your, okay, so you'll end up having an SD card in here. Okay, when you extract, okay, when you upload this, extract it. Once it's extracted in a file, okay, you want to actually make your own file. So here's what I did. So when you extract it, it's going to end up with that new firmware coming up to this. Alright, but here's the problem with trying to just take all this and copy it, okay, and copy it, or you can actually click on all this and drag it over to the SD card that you have already formatted, does not have information. When you do that, alright, and it's saved, and you go to click on it, if it goes into a zip file instead of this, then that's your problem. If you've had a problem like I have. So what I did is I ended up making a new folder, copied all this, put it over into the new folder, if that makes sense. Then go back to your SD card, delete every bit of this, okay, and this is only if you have a zip file, none of this. Okay, if you've got a zip file that comes up, let's see, I'll try to show it to you. Alright, so you see this zip file. If you click over here, let's say this is the SD card, okay, you click on it and then it automatically shows this by itself, then that will cause an issue with it, even for the Tyrannus to show that you have information on there. So what you have to do is delete this off of your SD card. Alright, if this is completely clear and you've got it selected for the SD card that you're going to use for your Tyrannus, take that folder that I told you to extract all to, everything that will have this information, crossfire, blah blah, and this is for the newer firmware. Take everything from that folder here that has this information, drag it over, and it will download to the SD card. Once it does that, then that took care of my issue that I had. But if it has a zip file, once you click on the SD card that you're using for your Tyrannus, then it will not work. This is what you got to see once you select your SD card that you've got coming up in your folder section, and it shows this. Alright, so once you do that, in firmware here, what I had to do is go to my OpenTX, plug in my Tyrannus in bootloader, which is these two switches pulled together inwards, so inwards on both, and turn your power on. That puts it in bootloader. Take your USB, plug it into the back. It's not a micro, it's a normal old USB, which I don't care for, but they seem more durable. Then hook in the plug into your laptop. Once you've done that, you go here, make sure that you've got this selected correctly. This is just what worked for me, guys. I don't know if it's, just case, some type of weird situation. Alright, so you go in here, select what you need to, blah blah blah, Flex R9. Then you go to download, and then you'll go download firmware, and you'll be looking for this file right here. It's a bin file, not a zip file. Your zip file will not work. Well, okay, so this will not work. You've got to click this, and then once you've clicked on that, alright, so download firmware. Once you're in OpenTX, click this, and you'll want to make sure this is open. Okay, so this is your firmware. Alright, so you take this file, make sure this is clicked open. It'll only show readme.txt. So you take this file, drag it over here, and then you'll see it. It'll start uploading. It'll basically prompt you up here. Okay. Once you've done that, and it's uploaded this file over into here of the firmware, you can take your SD card out, plug it into the radio, put it in bootloader, and then you'll go to flash firmware, and it'll start going through the process of uploading, and that's what took care of my issue. Guys, I hope this has helped someone. I know it's not a professional video. I'm just trying to give someone, some type of insight if they have a radio that will not turn on and only has bootloader working. That's what it worked for me, and it was because it must have been a corrupt file in this SD card. I don't know what happened, but at least I've got a little bit more space now with 4 GB versus 1 GB that comes in your typical FrSky Tyrannus X9d Plus. Alright guys, Danger Dave, and I hope that I've helped someone today. Thanks.